Welcome to Making and Baking with Dom. Today we're going to be making beef bourguignon. What is that? It's a beef stew. So we've got our diced beef here, we've got a tiny little bit of onions, we've got our mushrooms, carrot, and I'm actually including celery as well because I just like the flavour, flour to thicken up that broth that we're going to create. We've got garlic and also some tomato passata. And you could also use tomato paste. I had passata, that's what we're going to use. Herbs, spices, salt and pepper, obviously super important. We've got bacon fat here, which is what we're going to cook everything in. Now, a lot of people actually use bacon in their bourguignon recipe. They'll chop it up, dice it up, cook it, use the oil that's in there, brown off their beef and everything else. We like bacon just as it is, so we're going to use the bacon fat instead of the whole bacon. We've also got some wine here, and that's going to be our juice, our broth and all the rest of it. For those of you who are shouting at the screen at the moment, you'll notice that this is white instead of red wine. I don't like red wine. I don't particularly enjoy it when it's cooked off, any of that. I really do enjoy the white wine flavor that this will give to this dish. I've got my pan heating here on the bench, just making sure it's getting warm enough. I'm gonna cook our mushrooms first, just to get them a bit of glaze and a bit less moisture in the mushrooms itself, fry them off. Then I'm gonna take them out, cook the beef, the onions, and then we'll take those out. We'll create our roux, cook our broth together, add our vegetables, put it all together and chuck it in the oven for a couple of hours. The mushrooms have cooked down. There's a lot more moisture content that has come out of them. They're good to come off the hot pan. We're cooking this all in the same pan, so you'll get all the same flavors built in together. You'll see that in a minute. We cooked the mushrooms first so that they're already soft, good to go. If you really love the flavor of mushrooms, you can add these back into the beef bourguignon stew about 30 minutes before serving, so it gets in there and gets the flavor. I'm not a huge fan of mushrooms, so I'm going to put mine in the whole way through so that it all gets amalgamated. Next up, we're going to soften and cook our onions. We want that flavor sweetened just a little bit before I add my beef. The beef's going to go in and we're going to brown it, like really, really brown the beef on all sides, just to give it that depth of flavor. It really will help. Trust me, we've done it where we haven't browned it as much, and then when we really brown it, it makes a huge difference. So this is actually going to brown the beef for about 30 to 40 minutes. You'll keep an eye on it, turn it a couple of times, but for the most part, you're going to let it sit and get really brown. Next, we are going to create our roux with the bacon fat, the flour, then the tomato passata and the wine. We want all of the flavor and the juices that are in this pan to come up so they become part of our broth. almost everything is in the pan now. We've added our vegetables. Now salt, pepper, and all our herbs. You'll see I'm going to put a bay leaf, some oregano, some parsley, and then put the beef and the mushrooms back in. Got it. We want all of the juices in as well. Our beef stew, beef bourguignon, is all ready and done. We're going to put the lid on, put it in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius for 2 to 4 hours. Keep checking it every 40 to 60 minutes just to see how much liquid is left. If it's starting to get low, add a little bit more. Just some water is fine, some boiling water, even a bit of broth if you'd prefer, and then just so it doesn't dry out. Here we go. We've just checked the beef bourguignon after about an hour and 15 minutes and given it a little stir. I think it needs another hour and a half just to thicken up that sauce. So once that's done, you'll see it again and it'll thicken up. In the meantime, I'm going to get my potatoes ready. We're going to mash our potatoes and then we're going to chuck it on top like a shepherd's pie and bake it again. Yum. Oh, it looks so good. Might look messy, but it's going to taste good. Beef bourguignon is all done. As you can see, we've put mashed potato on top, baked it again with a little bit of cheese. A bit decadent, but that's how we like it. I really, really love this meal. It's perfect in winter. Hope you enjoy.